All right, question number 5 is asking us to go back to our original data, which said that we have a per unit selling price of $20, we have a per unit variable cost of $8, and we have an annual fixed cost of $180,000. And it added information that said we know that we sold 18,000 units. So can we go ahead and first prepare a contribution margin income statement showing this data? We're then going to adjust some of the data and do a comparison and make a decision as to whether or not we should make the changes that are being proposed by the company. So first thing we're going to do is figure out what our profit is at 18,000 units with a selling price of 20. And we're going to take our number of units times our selling price, and we're going to have total sales revenue of $360,000. In order to produce those 18,000 units, we have a variable cost of $8 per unit. So we're going to take 18,000 times 8, and we're going to show a variable cost of $144,000. If you subtract the variable cost from the sales, you have a contribution margin of $216,000 minus $180,000 in fixed cost means that at 18,000 units selling at a price of $20 with a cost structure shown, we're going to have a net operating income of $36,000. Management's saying, hey, we think we can do better than that. If you show a 10% reduction in your selling price and you increase our advertising budget by $30,000, we believe that we're going to have an increase in the number of units sold of 1/3. So 1/3 of 18,000 would be equal to, if you just take that and divide it by 3, 6,000 units. 6,000 units plus the original 18,000 shows a 24,000 units. That's a 1/3 increase in number of units sold. We're being asked to reduce our selling price by 10%. So a 10% reduction in selling price is equal to the original selling price times 90%, or $18. Our variable cost structure stayed the same. And our fixed costs are going to go up, but we'll take care of that in a minute. So we're going to start by saying, what's our sales revenue? And our sales revenue is our new number of units, 24,000, times our new sales price of 18 per unit, or 432 units. Our variable cost are 24,000 units times our variable cost structure of $8 per unit, or 192,000. 192 from 432 leaves us with a contribution margin of 240,000. Our fixed costs are now the original 180,000 plus advertising expenses of 30,000, or 210, and if we spend 210,000 on fixed cost, we're left with a net operating income of 30,000. So the question is, would you make this decision and is it worth it to reduce selling price, increase our advertising budget in order to increase the number of units? And the answer to that is no. We have less net operating income than we had under the old model. So think about that for a minute. What's this saying? Our units went up, but unfortunately our fixed cost outpaced the value that we got back for producing that number of units. We either decreased our selling price by too much, or we increased our fixed cost by too much, and you can play with the models to figure out what you would recommend if you were the manager. But that's what this type of analysis is getting at, is what would you recommend in order to try to improve profits and drive efficiency to your business. I'm going to pause and come back and answer question number 6 in a separate video. If you have questions, please post them.